Hello, my name is Anthony Bullock from Northern Ireland. In 2009 I got diagnosed with bowel cancer, which is spread over the outside of the stomach and to the right lung. Nothing strange about that there. Many thousands of people throughout the world happens to them all the time. I went through chemo the following year, 2010, for 9 months and managed to get to the other end of a pretty terrible thing. But this is not to do with cancer. This has to do with banks, the government and banks. And during the whole time of the chemo and the ordeal of going through it, my bank, the Royal Bank of Scotland, was busy repossessing my home. Yes, the bank that the taxpayers bailed out. The government, well, I shouldn't really say the government. Piss-ass government would be more like it. We have got Pixie and Dixie in office at the minute, and what are they doing to stop repossessions by the banks? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The Royal Bank of Scotland, along with the rest of the banks, went to the government with their tail between their legs and wanted a handout to get themselves out of the mess that greed got themselves into. Big wages, salaries, big bonuses, and total lack of everything involved in the financial sector. And we bailed them out. The government, the people, the taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. Everybody else is a taxpayer. So what did the banks get? The banks got the cake, the cream, and the silver spoon to eat it with. And the politicians, who are spineless and gutless, and the leader of the country, the Prime Minister, spineless, the sidekick, spineless, just couldn't stand up to them, could they? So what have we got? In ordinary working man's terms, we have been swindled by the banks, and nobody doing anything about it. And during my chemo, when I was fit and able to write, I wrote to everyone. I wrote to all the major newspapers, wrote to the Prime Minister at the time, wrote to the Treasury, wrote to the Bank of England, and wrote to Scotland Yard. Serious squad, crime squad, over why there was nobody taken to prison. Not one reply. Not even thank you for the letter. Nobody. Which obviously says a lot for the public. They can be trodden on, kicked about and abused, and still nobody is doing anything about it. And what is really, really, really horrendous is that the government bailed them out. The banks then repossess the houses using the government to do it, which is the Enforcement Judgment Office. My God, this is really wonderful. We have a government who bails them out, then uses a government office to kick you out of your own home. Wow, this makes for really, really, really good politics, doesn't it? What are the people going to do about it? What? Are we going to stand down and let this happen, or are we going to fight back? I would really like to fight back against the banks. To tell the government this is not going to happen. To tell the government that this is not the way it's going to be. And to tell the government that it's finished with. If the banks want to repossess homes, then they're going to have to do it the hard way. Because I am now looking at the deeds of my property, because I see my home fully paid, and everybody else should be looking their deeds. So you can ask yourself, are we in a revolt or a revolution? I hope so, because the banks are not going to get away with it. If anybody's interested, let's go after the banks and do it, because I'm prepared to do it even if it's on my own. Thank you very much.